Caitlin Clark, she was helping me through all the hard times. She was helping me. Like I was like, what do I do here? Or like, where should I cut? Like I was asking her a lot of questions, and I think with being a rookie and having a vet like that, you should ask questions that you want to know. And I think I asked her probably like 1,000 questions yesterday. So.
Are you getting a better feel of kind of the role and what they kind of are hoping and expecting for you?
Yes, I am. That's definitely picking up the ball 94 feet, which I do naturally. Trying to find my teammates and just be the best on-court communication.
For a rookie stepping into a high-level system, having a veteran willing to walk her through those moments made a noticeable difference. As for the history between her and Clark, specifically the 2023 incident that drew a lot of attention on social media around draft night, Johnson made clear she has no interest in revisiting it. As far as she is concerned, that chapter is closed. The focus now is entirely on the team's goal of winning a championship, something she described as a shared priority between her and Clark.
On-court communication so far with Caitlin, and I know on draft night, when you got drafted here, there's a lot of talk on social media about you and Caitlin being teammates in light of what happened in 2023, and then just the irony of you guys being teammates. Now, just wondering, have you two acknowledged that since you've been in this building? Have you talked about what happened in 2023?
No, we haven't. I think that's in the past, honestly. We're teammates now, and we have one goal. That's to win a championship. And, I'm coming in. I want to win a championship, too, and I'm pretty sure that's her main.
The standard at the Fever came up as a point of comparison for Johnson, who spent her college career at South Carolina under a program known for its demands. She said the Fever's culture reminded her of that environment, coaches emphasizing the small details, discipline, and the kind of box-out and rebound mentality that separates good teams from great ones. On the arena and fan base, Johnson said she had already heard how passionate the Gainbridge crowd gets, and that kind of atmosphere was something she genuinely looked forward to playing in. She connected the fans' dedication, taking time off work, showing up consistently to the kind of motivation players feel once they step on the court.
One goal, that's to win a championship, and, I'm coming in, I want to win a championship too, and I'm pretty sure that's her main goal too, so whatever I can do to help win a championship, that's the goal right now.
Scott, just a few days, what's been your perspective on the standard and the accountability and those things that have been laid out by the coaches?
Oh, the standard is high. I mean, coming from a program like South Carolina, the standard was high there, but coming here, I was like, this is like me being at South Carolina. Like, the standard is so high. They want to win the national championship. I know they were talking about last season. It was like little mistakes that they did to get over that hump of winning, going over the aces. They were like talking about that in the locker room, and I was like, in my head, I was like, wow, it is about the.
When the conversation turned to how she handles mistakes and pressure, Johnson pointed to a mental shift she has made over the past couple of years. In her sophomore and junior seasons, small errors would weigh heavily on her. Now her approach is to let go, not dwell, and trust the process, a change she said she had recently talked through with her mother. Draft night itself was a mix of nerves and surprise.
They were like talking about that in the locker room, and I was like, in my head, I was like, wow, it is about the little things. The coach was talking about discipline, remembering like little things, rebounding, boxing out, things like that. So I was like, wow, this sounds like Coach Staley. Like she always talk about, it's always about the little things and details to win a national championship. A championship. Sorry, I said national.
What have you been able to see or hear from the atmosphere in Gainbridge, and how excited are you to play here?
Well, I'm excited. I heard the fans are crazy. Like, they sell out the arena. I like to see things like that, especially when you see a lot of fans in the arena. I mean, you want.
Johnson had done video calls with multiple teams but had no clear idea of where she would land. Her agent sent a message just before the Indiana pick came in, and landing as the 10th selection still felt unreal to her even days later. Every morning at camp, waking up to the reality of being a WNBA player, putting on an Indiana jersey with the number 3, sharing a floor with players she watched in college still carries a surreal quality for her. The number 3 itself?
See a lot of fans in the arena. I mean, you want to play for them because they sacrifice so much just to come to games, and sometimes they take off of work, so it's like little things like that. So I'm excited to play in this arena.
Right, we know throughout your career you played in South Carolina, you come to the Fever, expectations all the time. So as you've gotten older and matured, how have you found ways to give yourself grace when you know like your standard is perfectionist?
Honestly, I was telling my mom this, 2 days ago, I let go, let God. Like, I let God control everything, honestly. I used to, my sophomore, junior year, I used to stress about everything.
She chose it simply because it suited her. Also present at camp was rookie Justine Puscott, who is joining Indiana through its development squad, essentially a redshirt pathway for first-year players. Puscott described being grateful for the opportunity and said she was approaching each day with patience rather than rushing the process. The camp environment struck her as fast-paced but familiar, not unlike the transition she made entering college.
I let go, let God. Like, I let God control everything, honestly. I used to, like my sophomore, junior year, I used to stress about everything. Every little mistake I did, I used to stress about it, but now I just let go, let God. And if you make a mistake, just try to, don't dwell on those mistakes. Try to make it better. So I let go, let God. That's my motto, honestly. Anybody else?
On draft night, did you have any idea what might happen based on draft from other teams as you went along?
Yeah, so I got on Zooms with a lot of teams. I honestly did not know where I was going. I was nervous at the table. I was like, I don't know what team's gonna pick me. But then
she noted that the team had a welcoming, close-knit feel, which made adjusting easier. On the question of fitting into the offensive system, Puskat said she is viewed primarily as a perimeter shooter, though her ability to attack the paint has developed more noticeably over the past year. The mental side of shooting, not overthinking it, came up as the key factor in her growth from beyond the arc. Both she and Johnson have generated significant attention online since the draft, with their social media engagement drawing a lot of interest around the Fever heading into the new season.
I was nervous at the table. I was like, I don't know what team's gonna pick me. But then my agent, they texted me before Indiana, the pick was coming up, and I was like, oh, they finna pick me. And I was excited. I was like, 10th pick. Like, I was shocked. I was like, I'm a 10th pick. Like, a lot of people can't say they're a 10th pick. So I was honestly like shocked. I don't even know what was going through my head. Like, I was just like, wow, I'm a 10th pick. So that was going through my head. Dr. Elliott?
Everything went super fast from when I go to the draft and now here. Have you had any time to process and know that right now you're the WNBA player?
The Indiana Fever held their media day, and while it lacked the electric atmosphere of the previous year's event, which came at the height of the franchise's early momentum, several notable comments emerged from players that are worth breaking down. Caitlin Clark made headlines by declaring herself the top transition player in the WNBA. Honestly, that should be a non-controversial statement. It's the kind of claim that deserves a simple, yeah, obviously, similar to if Angel Reese stepped up and said she's the best rebounder in the league.
And know that right now you're the WNBA player.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, I am in the WNBA. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm literally in the WNBA. Like, I have an Indiana jersey on. Like, and I'm wearing number 3. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I feel like I'm dreaming, literally dreaming. Every day I come to training camp and I see like Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham. Like, I look at these girls like I watched these girls in college. Like, I'm literally playing with these girls. Like, it's crazy, honestly. It's like a surreal moment, honestly.
That's what Clark. It's just you saying we're number 3. What does number 3 mean to you?
I chose this number because,
Both would be accurate, yet somehow Clark's comment set off a wave of outrage online, which says more about the discourse around her than it does about the claim itself. The more compelling story out of Media Day involves Myisha Hines-Allen and what she shared about her decision to join Indiana. Before the key clip even aired, she had already mentioned that the Fever had been a possibility for her in previous free agency cycles.
The best rebounder in the WNBA? The answer should be, yeah, duh, obviously you are. But obviously things change. However, Myisha Hines-Allen has had another clip, and this is an interesting one, and this is something that I stand by it. I'm not surprised. I said at the time, by the way, I was really, really high on Myisha Hines-Allen. Was really, really high on her coming into the Indiana Fever. And let's take a listen to what she has said in an interview talking about joining the Fever and joining Caitlin Clark. And by the way, prior to this, she stated that Indiana has been an option in the past for her free agency. So
there's a reasonable case to be made that she was actually the backup plan behind Natasha Howard last offseason, someone who was on comparable money and ended up signing fairly late with the Dallas Wings. Had the Howard deal collapsed, Indiana likely would have moved in Hines-Allen's direction. What Hines-Allen said about her choice to sign with the Fever was pretty straightforward. The chance to compete for a championship and play alongside one of the most generational talents the sport has ever seen was already compelling enough.
Indiana has been an option in the past for her free agency. So I actually believe that she was the backup option if Natasha Howard fell through last year. If Natasha Howard had fell through and they didn't sign Natasha Howard, I fully believe they she would have went and they would have signed her because she was on similar money to Natasha Howard, but she signed for the Dallas Wings and she signed pretty late for the Wings. That is my theory, is that if Natasha Howard fell through, they probably would have signed.
But when she got word that Clark herself had pushed for her to be brought in, that sealed it completely. Aaliyah Boston was another factor. Hines Allen spoke about how impressive Boston was last season and how excited she is to share the floor with her. The reaction to the signing has been overblown. Hines Allen's time in Dallas wasn't great, but context matters enormously.
My theory is that if Natasha Howard fell through, they probably would have signed Myisha Hines Allen.
Winning. Being able to play with Caitlin Clark, I think that was a huge eye-opening. Like, I had the opportunity to play with one of the greatest players that's ever going to play the game of basketball. So for me, once I also heard that, like, oh, she really wants me here too, I was like, oh, well, let's get it done then. There's no questions about it. So, and again, you have Aaliyah Boston, who is amazing. Like last year, I was so impressed with the way.
Any player under a heavy spotlight on a struggling team is going to look bad. The microscope doesn't just reveal flaws, it amplifies them. A player on a losing squad who isn't performing gets crushed publicly. The same player in a winning environment gets celebrated.
The way that she played last year, like, just to be able to play off her, to help her continue to grow, it was definitely like, oh, I need to be here. I need to do this. And it's going to be challenging. I know it's going to be challenging. I know it's going to be tough. From everything, from every aspect of basketball and life in general. So I'm ready for the challenge. Winning.
So yeah, that is very clear. She's like, you know what? Look, I got a chance to play with Caitlin Clark. And one of the big things is...
That's just how it works. Looking at what Hines Allen actually brings, she's a physical, hard-nosed forward who doesn't get pushed around. She's a functional connective passer in the post, solid at swinging the ball, making the extra pass to cutters, and feeding the role player. What she shouldn't be doing is handling the ball in space, which was a recurring problem in Dallas.
Things is that, as well, is that she wanted me here too. And everyone's like, oh, I still never understood why everybody got so angry at the Myisha Hines Allen situation. Like, she wasn't good for the Wings last year, but like, everything is in perspective. If she was a minimum contract player who fought her way into a starting spot for the Dallas Wings, then yeah, I feel like that would have been a legitimately good.
Used correctly, catch and pass situations, screening actions, post touches with quick decisions, she fits the Fever's system well. In terms of roster construction, she's essentially stepping into the Bree Turner role. Natasha Howard's spot is being filled by Mo Billings, which is a like-for-like swap at worst.
Like, that would have been a legitimately good thing. However, obviously, when like, she's somebody that like, she is someone that's now on a minimum, or was on a maximum last year and is now on a minimum, the expectations are very different. They are very, very, very different as far as the expectations of players are concerned. However, yeah, I do think that she's big.
KK Timpson is a question mark. Her European tape has been rough, genuinely rough, and it's hard to project improvement from what's been on film. Whether she makes the final roster is uncertain. At the minimum salary, Hines Allen represents serious value.
Yeah, I do think that she's big, she's strong, she's aggressive, does not take shit from anybody, which, look, that matters. That does matter. Not taking shit from anyone absolutely matters. But at the same time, it is like, this is one of these things where I'm like, this is a really good fit for the Fever. And the fact that she's out basically saying, you know what, Caitlin Clark wanted me. Everyone's like, oh, interesting. People are losing their damn minds. I'm like,
players at her positional skill level are getting paid significantly more on other rosters. The fact that Clark was vocal about wanting her specifically is telling Clark understands what she needs around her to operate at maximum efficiency, and a physical, passing-capable big who can absorb contact and move the ball fits that profile exactly. The Dallas narrative damaged her market perception.
It's like, oh, interesting. People are losing their damn minds. I'm like, dude, she is a backup. You are getting a really high-level backup player, a player who the market value for was probably $600K. There are players worse than Myisha Hines Allen at her position making $600K. So at the end of the day, you're looking at it, and it is this is a really big player, and there's a big reason why Caitlin Clark was pushing. Because, by the way, like, they have a very similar big rotation. She is replaced